Hey everyone, just wanted to give you a quick heads up. The second Global Product Owner Summit is coming soon. You can get all the details at bit.ly/Product Owner 2024. That's bit.ly/Product Owner 2024. And it's all lowercase, all one word. Oh, and stick with us until the end of the episode to know the dates and the tracks that we have for you in this year's summit. But for now, let's dive into today's episode. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our TGIF and Product Owner episode here this week with Lynn Runnels-Moss. Hey, Lynn, welcome back.
Thank you so much.
So yesterday we were talking about collaboration around story mapping and event storming and bringing people together. And of course, product owners are in a key position regarding exactly that, bringing people together. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. We'll talk about what great product owners do in a minute, Lynn. But first, share with us what might have been potentially the worst product owner anti-pattern you've witnessed in your career.
Yeah, I think that the absolute worst was a product owner for a travel company that I worked with. And this product owner, in their defense, was very inexperienced, really didn't know what they were doing. The problem that expressed itself was they didn't want to engage with the team. And everything about how they engaged with the team was they were bored or frustrated or not interested. So even when we tried to get them to collaborate with the team on thorny issues, they were just bored. They sat in rooms looking literally like slumped in a seat, scrolling on their phone rather than paying attention to the important conversation that was happening in the team about the product they were trying to build. And if you're not going to be engaged, then be absent. And it came to a point where I was like, you know what? You're not adding value to this meeting. So why don't I come back to you after we've discussed this, tell you what we've come up with, and you can approve or disapprove it. And they looked at me like, oh, thank you, and off. They didn't even let me finish my sentence before they were out of the room.
Wow. For me, one of the things that I find exemplifies some of the anti-patterns of product ownership in this story is not only the fact that they were disengaged, and of course that's already serious enough, but the fact that when they are actually showing that kind of behavior, like, as you said, slumping down, scrolling through their mobile phone, browsing the social media, what happens that the team will start copying their behavior.
Absolutely. The more disengaged the product owner gets, the less engaged the developers are. Because nobody wants to feel like their work isn't appreciated. Yeah, it was just really disheartening to watch because the team really had this problem to solve, and the business owner wasn't interested in the solution to the problem. They just wanted it to be over. So yeah, again, I think just kind of, I know we talked yesterday about getting people in the room as much as possible. This was a case where getting them out of the room was really important. So that's what we did. We got them out of the room as quickly as possible so that the team could really focus on solving the problem.
Yeah, I really like how you said it. In this case, getting them out of the room was the best, the best we could do in that context. And of course, we don't control who gets named to be the PO or how they relate to the project that they have been assigned or whatever. We don't control that, but it's very important for us to be aware of how this person, whose role is so critical, what kind of influence or example they're setting for the team.
Absolutely. It's really important that they know what they're doing and that they engage. Engagement is really the most critical thing.
So, of course, that was the bad anti-pattern. There are also some great product owners out there, and I know you have one to share with us. So, why don't you share that, Lynn? The best product owner you've ever worked with, how did they work?
So the best product owners I've worked with, and there's more than one. I can give it an example of one. She really sits down and lives with the problem. She engages with the stakeholders to understand their problem. And then she kind of brings them along into the team because she's already got really strong relationships with the team members as well. So if you've got a PO who's embedded with a team, has strong relationships with the devs already, and then you add that ability to connect with the stakeholders and you bring that all together, that's the whole package. Now, this one product owner, product manager I'm thinking about, applied this to a greenfield product for a company recently. And it was remarkable what she was able to do. She got the entire team, and about 6 different stakeholders, most of whom would normally not be involved in the creation of the product, got them in a room and they story mapped the entire product. This took a few days, but that process of story mapping it together really clarified for everyone involved, what do we need to do first? They were able to identify a happy path through the product so that the product could be usable within like 6 weeks of the project starting. That's remarkable. Let's get that happy path done. That takes out a huge usability problem. You're not waiting till the end of the product to be able to use it. So we were able to.
And also, you get feedback early, of course.
And the feedback was also special with this particular product owner. She managed to get a Slack channel set up with all of the devs, all of the stakeholders, and all of the users who were using the product in staging as it was being built. So there was real-time feedback coming in, real-time, hey, do you think you could do this? Or, hey, do you think you could do that? And an example of one of the things she was able to, by creating that space, that collaborative space, things that were obvious to devs but didn't work at all for the users were identified instantaneously. You didn't have to wait till a 2-week demo for them to say, no, please don't do it that way. We want you to do it this way. That was a remarkable thing to watch because at the end of it, and it was a very quick project as well, they were able to kind of get to the end within kind of 6 to 8 months, build this entire product that was usable within 2 months of them starting and completed entirely within 8 months of starting. And the stakeholders and users were delighted. The team was immensely proud of what they had accomplished. And it had measurable business value that was measurable within 6 weeks of the project starting. Yeah. It was incredible to watch.
And of course, because the product owner was thinking about that, they were able to bring that thinking into the team as well, right? Because let's not forget that being exposed to the users is very important, but if you don't have the perspective that you need in order to understand, what is the product trying to do, how does this fit our business model, maybe how does it integrate into whatever other aspects of the user's relationship with the company or the team or the product are, like, all of those things need to be in the team's mind, and I bet that shared story mapping was a great way to build that shared contextual understanding.
Yeah, and it was accessible to everyone involved. So anybody could pull that story map up and say, oh, this is what they're working on today. This is what they're working on this week. This is what they're going to do next. Everybody could see that in real time. We could do a demo and pull up that story map and say, see the things in green? Those are the things that were done in the last 2 weeks. You've already seen them because they've been in staging since they were complete, and we've already gotten this feedback on it.
Absolutely.
And it was a beautiful thing to watch.
Absolutely. And very
Everyone came out of
inspiring,
it.
I bet, for the team as well, because, getting feedback on something you're delivering is extremely motivational if you know what you're doing, right? Not if you think you're doing
Absolutely.
something and then you're doing something else.
Even if the feedback is, please don't do it that way. It's like, oh, well, why not? And it created this sense of curiosity about how went both ways. Well, why would you want to do it that way? Or why would you not want to do it that way? And these conversations were rich and influenced a better product overall at the end of the day.
Yeah. And I can't help but think that the PO's openness and the ability to bring people together help the developers also be much more open to the feedback.
Absolutely. Now, this was one of the great teams I was telling you about that I worked with, and they're a fantastic team, high performing team. They were allowed to kind of exceed even their own expectations by the work of this exceptional product owner.
Absolutely. Product owners can have that kind of impact on the team, that's
They
for
can.
sure.
And I think the last thing about her, and this is kind of not with this particular product, is she understood that development is a creative process. Development isn't just kind of go build me a shed, go buy me a flat pack and build my flat pack. She understood it as a problem solving process and a creative process. So you would never hear her say, oh, can't you just do this? She would never say that. That's like the 3 words you never want to hear from a product owner. Can't you just? Because it diminishes kind of the complexity and creativity of the development process. So she understood that, and that is the reason that she approaches the work the way that she does.
Absolutely. And a great story it is. Lynn, we're getting close to the end, unfortunately, but before we go, where can people find out more about you and the work that you're doing?
I have a LinkedIn page. I invite people to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm afraid I'm not on Twitter or anything, so
absolutely. But we'll put the link to your LinkedIn page in the show notes so that people can go. And why not have a follow-up conversation, ask a few questions. I'm sure Lynn would be happy to engage and share more of her lessons learned.
Absolutely. I look forward to hearing from your listeners.
Lynn, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for your generosity with your time and your knowledge.
Thank you for having me, Vasco.
Hi there, Agile friends. Thank you for sticking around and listening to the details of the Product Owner Summit, this year's global summit dedicated to a critical Scrum role, the Product Owner role, of course. We'll have some amazing keynotes and 4 tracks filled with first-hand stories and experiences for product owners to learn more about that critical Scrum role. The summit will take place between April 23rd and 25th, so book your calendars. There will be loads of sessions for you to attend. One of the keynotes will be Dave West, the product owner and CEO at Scrum.org, one of the largest Scrum organizations in the world. If you want to know more, check out the details at bit.ly/product owner 2024. That's all one word, all lowercase, bit.ly/product owner 2024. We will also have 4 tracks. The 4 tracks will cover cross-functional product ownership. That's track 1. As Pixar's Ratatouille said, not every idea can be a great idea, but a great idea can come from anywhere. And this quote emphasizes the importance of a product owner being open to all ideas, regardless of the source, and also challenges us to focus on getting good ideas from everywhere and involving the whole team in the product owner role and responsibilities. The second track is Designing Products for Growth, where we explore how to craft products ready for scalable growth, merging practical strategies with innovation. The idea here is to learn to design products for growth, whether it is sales or customer acquisition. The third track is Know Your Users, user-centric approaches for agile development. In this track, we learn to master user-centric techniques in agile development, to deeply understand customer needs and transform insights into meaningful UX designs that focus on engagement and satisfaction. This is a track ideal for innovation-focused agile teams. And the fourth track, one of the most exciting tracks in my opinion, is product development with AI, ideas for product owners. Not only do we discuss about using AI in the products, but also AI for product owners to learn to make a bigger impact with the help of the AI tools that we already have. The Product Owner Summit will also present to you great opportunities to network with your peers. So get your ticket and join our Slack. You can get the ticket and join the Slack at bit.ly/Product Owner 2024. As always, we have free tickets and also the paid tickets that help to support this podcast. So check them out at bit.ly/Product Owner 2024. That's all lowercase, all one word, Product Owner 2024. I'll see you in the summit floor.